Hi everyone, welcome to Admission Diaries, a series where we dive into a personal journey of students making waves around the world. Today we have a special guest who has some incredible stories to share about his time as an exchange student in US and how he got there. His story is a blend of challenges, growth, and success, and I can't wait for you to hear it. So without further ado, let's welcome Mehar Ali Ahmed. Hi Meher, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Kazran. Thank you for having me here. I'm grateful to share my experience.
Thank you. Let's dive into your experience as an exchange student in US. You studied at Saginaw Valley State University, Michigan, through a UGRAD exchange program. So I'm sure there were a lot of memorable moments, but what was the most surprising thing you learned while studying in US?
Okay. I think this is one of my most interesting questions whenever someone asks me about my exchange semester. So first of all, it was my first time studying abroad, like going out of Pakistan. So I did not expect there's a world beyond Pakistan. So the memorable moments that I've had were with my other exchange students who came from different countries like South Korea, China, Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Panama, Tunisia. So they were all very excited to learn about Pakistan. And one of the most exciting things that happened was that I was the only one from South Asia there. So it was really difficult to adjust into their norms and their cultures. But yeah, one of the most exciting and most surprising thing that happened was that with the Americans, basically, like most of them did not know the location of Pakistan. So a lot of them will just refer to me as an Indian or some. So I was like, initially I was offended by that. But then in my country presentation and other cultural activities, I made sure everyone knows where Pakistan, like even the people who I was friends with. So yeah, that was really an interesting thing. And then I had a host family who was an American family living near my university. So they've been hosting Pakistani students from like past 5 to 7 years. So they knew more about Pakistan than me because like people from different parts like Balochistan, Gwadar, KPK, Gilgit, Lahore, Karachi, they were all like in connection with her. So yeah, that was really interesting for me.
So your exchange year sounds like a transformative experience. But let's just take a step back at the beginning. What was your application process like for UGRAD program, and were there any moments that felt daunting, or did something unexpected happen?
Okay. So I'll start with when I first heard about the UGRAD program. So I remember in the summers after my first year in university, I was like very excited to go on an exchange. Yeah, exchange was very good, and I was like surfing through the internet, searching about it, and then I found a YouTube channel about one of my seniors who went to this program. And I was like very excited, like, yeah, Pakistanis can go as well, and it's free as well. So then our university sent us emails related to this application. So the application was like not something unique or something that's you won't expect something. So it was pretty normal, like you have to state your academic and personal background. One of the most like you can say a different thing was like there was a personal statement which they call it a statement of purpose, where you have to explain why do you want to go to an exchange program, what do you think you will study there as compared to what you're studying in Pakistan. And one of the most important things in that application was how are you gonna make sure that when you come back to Pakistan, you're going to like serve to your community or you're going to make an impact. So I think that was one of the most, you can say, a challenging part of the application. Like you have to think, like map your learnings into the community. So that was like you can say a challenging part. There was nothing like daunting or tiring because everyone around me was also applying, so we were like helping each other. So yeah, it was a great experience to apply.
Right. So, Mahir, tell us about the extracurricular activities. How important do you think those were for your applications? And for the students who are listening right now, how critical are extracurricular in applying for an exchange program or even just university in general?
Yeah, extracurriculars, as you know, uh, like they add value to your application. That's, I think, their most perfect description for any person. And it's not about just the exchange programs or any other scholarship programs. General university admissions are also considering you as a holistic personality rather than just an academic person or just an extracurricular person. So you have to make sure that you are a person that can balance both. So I have had experience of during the extracurricular activities when I applied for my university in Pakistan as well. Like, for example, LUMs, they consider applications based on your academic and extracurricular activities. So considering that perspective, those are really important. So in the terms of extracurricular activities, there's a wide range where you can showcase your skills. For example, community service is a different part where you can show that you were involved in a leadership activity. Different management skills. For example, I was part of the an organization called Isaac, uh, which is a youth-run organization, and I joined it in my first semester. And I can say that it was a really a changing experience for me, because it was that was the point where I started to learn that networking is very important, in today's world. Networks, so you can in your application you can also share that you have been able to experience different positions. Like in Isaac, we had different roles. For example, when I joined, I was part of making exchange, advertising my university for different exchange students around the world. And then I was, again, in the next role, I was part of the HR team. And in my final role, I was given the responsibility of being the head for the marketing team. So, these extracurricular activities, once you showcase them in your application, they just add more value to your application and make you stand up. I think that's the
Right.
crux of that.
So let's talk about your personal journey. What was your favorite cultural activity during your exchange year? And was there something about American culture that stood out to you?
Okay. Basically, this whole exchange semester was more of a cultural experience rather than an academic thing. The purpose was you have to go there and tell about Pakistani stories there to American people and learn about American stories and tell to people here in Pakistan. So, just giving you an overview, this was the main point of going there. So one of the most favorite cultural activity was participating in the International Food Festival, in which, as I told you, there were different exchange students from different countries. So all of us were given the responsibility to make a traditional food from each of our countries. And I have never had any experience of cooking before, so it was very much, you can say, difficult for me. But everyone near me, my exchange students, friends, and the American friends, they were very helping. So that my favorite one was the International Food Festival, because I made the American chef in the dining hall of our university, the samosas. So I made those as part of my yeah, my
Wow,
contribution to
okay.
the food festival, and a lot of people like that. And the second part of the question, something about the American culture that stood out. Um, I think one of the most important thing that I learned about Americans generally was that they're very different than what is portrayed to us in the movies or in the media.
Yeah.
So, as I could the most important thing that I could resonate was by my experiences with my host family. So, they were uh, the hospitable level was like extreme. Like they would ask me to come over to their house, we'll have dinner together, they'll share things, they'll give me a ride to different places. So I think that was one of the things where people say that Pakistanis are more like welcoming generally. I think if you meet a general American, they're also very welcoming. And the negative images that have been formed due to the media in our minds and their minds is very like, I think they're wrong once you get to experience them, like a one-to-one
totally
experience.
agree. Yeah,
it,
I agree.
it really changes your level of thinking.
So I know you were also involved in volunteer work during your time in US and here in Pakistan. Can you share what was the experience like, and how do you think it contributed to your success in getting selected for the UGRAD program?
So I'll come first to the second part. Like one of the main things that I got selected, and I believe in it, was that I was involved in some like small volunteer work, which wasn't like I was part of any non-government organization. Like I wasn't part of any NGO. It was just like an idea came into my mind and I just implemented it. So one of them was like I collected funds for the flood victims in 2022, like 2022, when there were like extreme floods in the southern areas of Pakistan. So I just collected funds and reached out to different family members, different friends, my teachers. So I think I was able to showcase an experience of leadership in that, and which made me like capable of getting into the UGRAD program. So yeah, as we discussed earlier, that these experiences are very important. And yes, I was also involved in volunteer work in the US because it was a requirement of the UGRAD program, like you have to complete 20 hours of community service. So, and B, my host advisor was very much into these volunteer work and etc. Right. So we will just like go with him. So one of the most like different one was like volunteering in an East Side soup kitchen. So we went there to serve breakfast to the homeless people down the street. So like we were involved like from preparing food to serving food. Like this was the whole process. So I was like very much it was a great learning experience for me, and I hope that I can like there's something like this in Pakistan as well, or maybe I can just like implement that in Pakistan as well.
Well, it sounds like voluntary played such a key role in your journey. Now let's talk about the next step. You've been through such a transformative journey. It's clear that experience has had lasting impact. So what's the next step for you? How has your time as an exchange student shaped your future plans, both personally and professionally?
Yeah. So beginning with it, it's pretty would be immature to define what I want to be in the next 5 or 10 years, if I like shorten down this question. But I can say that it's right that the exchange program was a big transformation for me because it allowed me to explore the world beyond Pakistan. So, and once you get out and experience people from different parts of the world, you're just like, I just got more curious about them. So right now, I'm looking forward to experiencing the exchange again, like either by pursuing masters abroad or like involving different international activities, because I learned a lot about them when I was there. And so professionally, I'm looking forward to first establish a career around computer sciences because that's my major, and I'm interested in that field. So I'm looking forward to that professionally. But personally, I'm on the other side of my thinking. I want to like come back to Pakistan and like use my exchange program or my experiences to add value to our community by involving in different community initiatives, community services, like that. So that's my, you can say, the next step.
Okay. So you're passionate about AI and machine learning, and it's interesting how your time in US has helped you shape in this path. How has the exchange experience influenced your passion for AI and for your future career goals?
Okay. So you can, like, I would not say that my interest in AI or machine learning came through the exchange program.
Right.
Like it was, you can say it was a byproduct. So in the US, when I was like taking the cybersecurity course and the software engineering course, so these are like, one was the elective and one was a core, like software engineering was the core. So I wasn't taking any AI course, though I was really like, I really wanted to, but it wasn't being offered in the fall semester. So like, I think when I came back, I had some time to research about AI and machine learning, and that's when my interest came in. So yeah,
Okay.
and I
So
started to discover more.
right. So for the students who are just starting out and thinking to apply for UGRAD, or maybe are unsure of whether they should apply or not, what would your biggest tip? What advice would you give them for standing where once you stood?
I can say I've been through the process, and when you're in part of the process, at one time you're very confident about yourself, at the other point you're like, no, I can't do this, I should just give it up. So the same happened with me as well. So I was really excited, as I told you, I was really excited to apply, but the night before the deadline, my motivation, like, I was really demotivated. So I called my sister and I told her that I'm not applying. And I think you just need to find someone around you who is encouraging. So she said that there's nothing wrong in applying, and that's my advice to everyone. There's nothing wrong in applying because you're not losing anything. And the process of applying is just so comprehensive that it teaches you a lot about yourself. Like once you start writing your personal statement, or like even your like a one sentence about yourself, the thinking process is very important. And I think that's what I would like say to anyone who is applying, that don't hesitate. Do not get demotivated. Yes, there application processes are daunting, they are tiring, and I am again in that process, like as a looking forward to pursue masters. But I think this hustle is very important to define your future. So I think that's my advice.
I think it's worth it too. All right, finally, what's one piece of advice you would give to anyone who's thinking about applying for an exchange program, or maybe hesitate or feeling unsure? What's one piece of advice?
Okay. Okay. Like, to simply put it, just believe in yourself. A lot of people say that, but some people don't get the exact meaning. I think knowing about yourself and presenting yourself as a true person is very important in any application, especially in the UGRAD program. They're really looking for how much truth have you stated in your application. So they will look, like if you get selected for the interview, they're gonna compare your answers in the interview and in the statement of purpose. So I think that's one thing. And again, just don't hesitate. Apply. Just make sure that you meet the criteria, and just don't get into the cycle of if and then, and do not start thinking about what will happen next, or do not start dreaming about it, that yes, I will get selected, or do not be like demotivated that no, I am not capable. You just need to be impartial about it and just apply.
I think believe in yourself.
Advice.
Well, Mehar, thank you very much for sharing your story with us today. Your journey is such a great reminder on how stepping out of your comfort zone, facing challenges head on, and embracing new cultures can lead into incredible growth. I'm sure our listeners and viewers are leaving with a lot of inspiration. Once again, thank you for joining us today. If you've enjoyed this episode of Admission Diaries, Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon and never miss a new story. You can also follow us on social media at prodigii.ai for more updates. And if you know someone who might be interested in applying for UGRAD or studying abroad, share this episode with them. Thanks again for joining us today. See you next time.